you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's an outstanding time of year to be a sports talk radio show host. I am blessed. Let me tell you, I am fired up for the next couple of hours because we have Jaguars news. We have NFL draft news. We have college football news. We have golf news. We have baseball news. First pitch, 2025 season began today, 6:10 a.m. Cubs and Dodgers, the defending World Series champs. It would be 3:10 in the morning, Los Angeles time. In Chicago, 5:10. First pitch. I'm not going to belabor this. I'm not going to waste a lot of time. This isn't the first time they've done it. But it is sad because there used to be years and years and years ago a tremendous amount of importance with Major League Baseball's opening day. And Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati was always the first pitch. It was a school skipper. It was a call-in for work and say that you're sick. And there was really something special about opening day in Major League Baseball. Opening day for really every team in every sport. There should be at least a glimmer of hope, right? Just a tiny bit, can you get through a couple of innings? Can you get through a period? Can you get through a couple of quarters? Of course, the exception of the rule was the 2024 Jaguars, which just dropped the 0-1-4 right on you before you even sat down. I mean, the month of September, they said, hey, Jaguar fans, watch this, 0-4. Your season is ruined, okay? But every one of these baseball teams, they go in thinking, all right, lightning in a bottle. Can we just possibly find a way to get something positive rolling? And then we'll take it from there. You open up in Tokyo at 6 o'clock in the morning. No one watches it. And I hurt for true baseball fans. And I'm trust me, I'm not going to spend more than another 45 seconds on this because I get it. You'll switch the channel. So many of you no longer care about baseball, and it's one reason after another. But I hate that today this sport feels second-rate to me. I mean, it really does. And how cheap everyone involved is. Fox Sports didn't even send a broadcast team to do this game. They're doing it remotely back here in the States. Of course, a big story that came down about a month ago that I haven't had an opportunity because of time constraints to really discuss is how ESPN, after 35 years, said, see ya. I mean, baseball is going to hemorrhage without ESPN. Just like hockey did when Gary Bettman, 20 years or so ago, said, oh, we don't need you, ESPN. We'll put hockey on the outdoor network, or we'll put it on this network, and we'll let hockey okay, yeah, true hockey fans, they're going to go find it. But if you're working 9 to 5 and you're putting the kids to bed and you put some food in your belly and you get on the lazy boy and you're exhausted and you flip on the TV and you go to ESPN and they have the National Hockey League there, you may stick and stay. Same with Major League Baseball. If now you got to go find it, big blow today in the world of baseball, in my opinion. And I'm sad. I grew up in a huge baseball town. One of the greatest baseball towns there is in Boston. And, the folks in L.A. probably aren't even aware of the fact that the Dodgers had an opening day, even though they are the defending World Series champions. That's how I feel about that fan base. Chicago, a little bit different. They probably just continued right off for St. Patrick's Day and kept it rolling at 5:10 their time earlier this morning. First pitch. For what it's worth, LA a winner 4-1. Ohtani with a couple of base hits. Mookie Betts ill. Freddie Freeman didn't play as well. But one up, one down for the defending champions. Okay, we may have some clarity on T-Mac's 40 time. Yesterday, the 4.48 that did come out from Jordan Schultz. There was another report that came out after that. Let me find it. I saved it here. It was Ryan Fowler with the Draft Network. Came out and said that it was somewhere in the neighborhood of a 4.48 in a 4.53. Well, that's a pretty big difference. You know, the margin between those two 40 times. Today, Daniel Jeremiah said he spoke with quite a few teams. He got a 4.52, a 4.53, a 4.56, and a 4.63. He also said the time that was shared with the league was a 4.53. Bear in mind, there were several different stopwatches out there. 24 teams were represented. This was not an official Arizona Pro Day for T-Mac. This was his private workout. There's a Big 12 workout coming up tomorrow. I don't know if he will participate in that, right? Arizona, the Big 12? Yes. I mean, hey, you kind of got to, unclog the ears and smack yourself around a little bit. Just remember where all these conferences are now. And that's a shame. I do. I miss the Pac-12. But anyway, that's gone. Albert Breer, 4.54, 4.55, 4.57, three teams he talked to. That does move the needle a little bit in the other direction. As I said yesterday, my opinion has been consistent since day one. I'm about building the offense, and yes, unfortunately, something has to suffer, and in this case, it is going to be the defense. But my plan is pretty simple. You need to find out if Trevor Lawrence can be elite, if Trevor Lawrence can be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And in order for that to happen, you must put together the best offense that you can. That includes the offensive line. Certainly that does include wide receivers. So I'm a big fan of getting T-Mac and having him on the opposite side of Brian Thomas Jr. However, if he is running in the mid 4.5s or even the low 4.6s, that does change things somewhat. Mike Evans ran a 4.53, right? If he's going to be Mike Evans, then yeah, without hesitation, you go out with your fifth pick and you make that draft selection. But we know that the draft is not a perfect science, and there's so much that goes into it. If he's not as fast as that original report that we got yesterday, that would probably hedge my bet somewhat on going out and getting him in the first round. But we're going to talk about that. Eric Edholm's going to join us here in about 10 minutes. Does a really good job covering pro football for NFL media as well as the National Football League draft. It feels like today, once again, that, defensive tackle is the one position group that they did not identify. The Jaguars didn't go anywhere near that position. I love the comments by James Gladstone last week when asked about a veteran. He said something along the lines of getting in the way. And I think you should appreciate what this young man is saying. The youngest general manager in the NFL, it really does feel like this organization is going to be built through the NFL draft. And you can say, well, no kidding, Ballou. Every real good NFL franchise is built through the NFL draft, except for the team that he came from that got rid of first-round pick and first-round pick and first-round pick and got Jalen Ramsey and got Matthew Stafford and got Von Miller, made all these moves, and they won a Super Bowl. So they got the ultimate prize. That was a risk where the reward was top of the line. Then he had a tremendous amount to do with the total rebuilding process in Los Angeles, where all of a sudden those draft picks, which years prior meant nothing, all of a sudden meant everything. So just his knowledge and just his experience in 9 years of seeing how to build a franchise in a totally different way, I think is enormous. Now, I don't know James Gladstone well, but you try to read between the lines. You try to get a gut feeling, and then you put your head into it, and you try to put yourself in his shoes. What is he going to do? I think this man values draft picks much more than the man that he learned from in Les Snead. So I think it's going to be a very intriguing draft, and it's only 37 days away. And again, every time we talk about it, it's nearly unanimous. Mason Graham, Mason Graham, Mason Graham, Mason Graham. Okay? Identify the defensive tackle position. How about Daniel Jeremiah today coming out with Jalen Walker as being the surprise pick at number 5? I mean, Jalen Walker, Georgia fans, very explosive football player, but he's been basically a tweener, right? He's been kind of a hybrid guy that I think at the next level, they believe he can be, an off-the-ball linebacker on early downs, and then a guy you move up to the line of scrimmage and ask him to sick the quarterback on passing downs. And that's the point that Jeremiah made today in his mock draft. You bring Walker up, you slide over Trayvon Walker, and you have Hines Allen on the side. We know that Jacksonville was 32nd in the NFL last year in their pass rush win rate. Staggering. On top of that, they were last a year ago in the NFL with their pass defense, which is staggering, right? Especially when you consider you're 4-13. I know I made this point a night ago, but sometimes I don't think it registers. I get it. There's always a way to cook books, right? There's always a way to take it and make it look better than it is, or perhaps worse than it is. But to be last in pass defense when you only won 4 games, the way that my mind works, that says, what happened? Because when teams have leads, they don't pass. When teams have leads, they run and they take clock and they try to run out the game. You would think that their rushing defense would be very problematic, and it certainly wasn't good. But to have the pass defense the worst in pro football, even though they only won 4 games, to me is a rather unusual statistic. But it's one of many that this football team is working hard now to try to improve. So Eric Edholm getting set to join us here in about 7 minutes. All right, opening comments tonight and every night brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. Wants and needs. We get to the draft and we hear about needs and value, right? No one wants to admit to needs. Well, that applies to your eyes as well. Maybe you want 20/20 for the rest of your life, okay? That'd be a want. Laser eye surgery. Are you a candidate? Just imagine the rest of your life never fumbling for your readers. I did it just the other night because I'm not a candidate for laser eye surgery because Dr. Neil Shmunez performed surgery on my right eye going on almost 9 years ago now. But I fell asleep with the contacts in, and it's brutal. And you know what it's like. You get up, you got to take them out. It's pain. It's just an ongoing process that a lot of you would love to fix. Laser eye surgery. Okay, what about needs? Something that is far more significant, far more serious, perhaps cataract surgery. Several remedies. Just because you have a cataract issue does not mean you need surgery. But if so, you're talking about more than 30 years worth of experience. Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt, and Dr. Neil Shmunez. Check them out online. It's wonderful. It really is. It's a great website, Shmunez Vision. Also go to Instagram. You can get all the testimonials that are there. All right, we got a lot to do. If you want to comment on baseball, you can. I'm guessing there'll be just a couple, unfortunately. You want to comment on T-Mac's 40 time. Now we're talking, Ballou. That's far more popular. You can get into that. We'll do it as well with our good buddy Eric Edholm. The best way to join us is our text line, 641-1010. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
I'm Brett Musburger, and you are listening live to Jacksonville Sports Radio 1010 XL.
Tired of supermarket produce that's traveled thousands of miles before you get it? Treat your family to farm-fresh, Florida-grown fruits and veggies delivered right to your home with Doorbell Farms. No supply chain issues or questionable origins, just seasonal produce handpicked from local farmers. Subscribe monthly and enjoy the best local farm produce delivered right to you. Sign up now at doorbellfarms.com, connecting real people to real family farms. Doorbellfarms.com.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Miller Lite for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you got to do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. The overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the free beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
Looking for adventure? Need a machine that works as hard as you do? CF Moto has you covered. At Ride Now Beach Boulevard, we've got CF Moto ATVs and UTVs built for any task, any trail, anytime. Tear up the dirt with the trail-tested C-Force ATV lineup or conquer through terrain with a Z-Force UTV. Find your CF Moto ride today at Ride Now Beach Boulevard or visit ridenowbeachboulevard.com. ATVs and UTVs are for riders 16 and older. They can be hazardous to operate. CF Moto recommends an improved safety training course.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
The best teal-colored coverage includes Mia's Quick Hits.
Get the latest news from inside the building and around the league. I'm Mia O'Brien, 1010XL's NFL Insider.
Driven by Arlington Toyota. Available on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Anthony. Have you been charged with a crime? You don't have to face it alone. I'm here for you. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me. 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW. In the 904.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses and fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Toccori and Verragio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we got a huge event coming up a week from Monday. Hope you'll join me and some former NFL players. It's the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf Challenge, March 31st at Marsh Landing. We're going to support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. An opportunity to win sensational prizes, but more importantly, we'll bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. Aaron Beasley, Marcus Stroud, I'm going to play with them after the event. They're going to, you can talk to them, pose for photos, do whatever during the putting contest. Two really good guys, and of course, two of the better all-time Jaguars here defensively. To get all the details, go to LoneWarriorFoundation.com. That's LoneWarriorFoundation.com. What a sensational event this is going to be. Eric Edholm does an outstanding job covering the NFL with NFL Media, and he joins Rick Ballou. Eric, always a pleasure.
Happy Friday. What's going on?
You're in Chicago, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I get my days mixed up here and there, you know.
Hey, listen, I spent 7 years there, and I got you. Were you up at 5:10 this morning for the Cubs' first pitch?
No, you know, it was funny. My son actually got up before me, which is more frequent these days than I care to admit. But I said, buddy, the game's going on right now. He's like, yeah, I'll get on it later. And then he was ready for school and out the door. So, yeah, no, he didn't catch any of it.
Yeah, all right. And a great football town, obviously, but plenty of Cubs fans there. So I imagine quite a few were up to watch that game.
Yeah.
In Tokyo. All right, the Jaguars added 9 players a week ago. Thought they did a really, good job on the offensive line. Was a little surprised that they brought in, plus 30-year-olds in their secondary. But with what they did, do you think that changes their plan with the 5th overall pick coming up in 37 days?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you say any of these moves takes anybody out of the equation. And that's kind of the beauty of it, too. It doesn't corner you into one side of the ball or one position group or anything like that. I mean, obviously, you'd still like to see them add pieces of the secondary, I think. And, at this point, you need another receiver, right? So there's one guy who could do both, right? Wouldn't that be the dream if Travis Hunter was there at 5, right? So, again, I don't know. Every team's got like kind of a different vision of him and a different plan. But, that certainly would solve some issues, I think. But, yeah, no, just big picture. I mean, obviously, I think what I've seen so far looks a lot similar to what Adam Peters did his first year in Washington last offseason, which was add layers of depth. We're not giving out these massive contracts. We're going to give team-friendly but also, smart money that we're spending to help kind of fortify both lines of scrimmage and, both the secondary and everything else. And so, it just sort of feels like a similar approach. They have the extra draft picks, too. I wouldn't be shocked if they have kind of a similar blueprint to that, even if the quarterback pick has already, been made essentially.
Yeah. Eric, my opinion on this is different than most Jaguar fans. Where I'm at, I want to see if Trevor Lawrence can be taken to the elite level. And I don't want any excuses. So I'm all about the offense, and I'm allowing the defense to suffer here. I want more offensive linemen. With the 5th pick, and now we have a discrepancy in the time that was run yesterday by T-Mac. But go get another wide receiver. I want the best offense that you can put together so then you can say, is this really the quarterback that will take this team to the next level?
Especially if they're thinking about adding to his contract. There's been talk about an extension beyond with that. So, yeah, right, exactly. I think there's some sense in that. And obviously, I don't think you make the head coaching hire and do everything else to kind of make it any other way, right? I understand there are some people who've probably said, all right, I've seen enough, or they moved on, or, just don't think he'll ever elevate to that level. But, look, if you look back at the history, there's obviously been guys who've had a much faster ascent and, been steadier once they've gotten to a certain point and all that. But, it's not linear every time. And so if you're going to invest in him in the first place, Trevor, and then you're going to go get a head coach whom you believe is going to be the architect of the offense that's going to unlock him, then why wouldn't you also tailor a big part of your offseason towards helping him out? It's interesting. I did a Boston show, and they're kind of asking the same questions with Drake May. They're not as far along as you guys are with him, but, like, where are the receivers? Where are the offensive tackle? Where's all the other help he needs? And so, it's kind of a thing this offseason. There just are so few options in free agency, and the draft is sort of heavier at running back, tight end, that sort of thing.
What would you do at number 5 here in Jacksonville, Eric?
It's tough because we don't really know how. Obviously, like I said, I think the dream scenario would be Travis Hunter falling into to 5. And, it's not like everybody's completely sold that he's going to be this revelation in the NFL. And, he's 180 some odd pounds, still hasn't run, and blah, blah, blah. And there's some question of whether that two-way thing is to what extent is that going to work? Is he a receiver first, corner second, or is he the other way around? A lot of people think, obviously on a team like the Jaguars, right, you want to upgrade that secondary. It would be a great quarterback duo down there. That would be something to watch and a big upgrade. They've got the nickel figured out now. So, that would be awfully tempting, and then give Brian Thomas another running mate at some point. But I think that would be the dream scenario if I'm just looking from the outside in. But you can also, you're kind of at the stage here where it's like, what are we trying to do? We're also trying to build a roster with as many talented players as possible. And if you want like a standing, or like a stand-up double of a pick, maybe it's Mason Graham. Just a guy who's going to be a tone setter up front. I know it's sort of a team strength right now, or at least there's a lot of, names up there, but who's to say one more isn't, let's have some superpowers here. Let's be really good at something, right? We can have a defensive line that ranks among the most devastating in the NFL. That would be a good thing to have.
Eric Edholm's our guest, NFL Media, joining Rick Ballou here on the home of the Jags, 92.5 FM. It's a very good defensive tackle class, and including his teammate, Kenneth Grant. That's another reason why I would wait until maybe the second round, and they have 2 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks. What did you make of him losing 20-plus pounds before the combine in Indianapolis, and then he elected not to run?
Yeah, right, exactly. It almost felt like it was like we were all waiting for, all right, let's see what you can do, right? He's still a big guy, but what was it, 330, I want to say he showed up at. And, we've seen some guys obviously do some freaky things at big weights like Jordan Davis a couple of years ago. But anytime you run something near 5 seconds in the 40 or show a good first 10 yards on the split there, and you're at that weight, it's almost a guarantee you're going to go high. That's like, Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher, when he worked out like he did. Everyone knew he was a freak athlete, but it just almost stamped his way into the top 15, even if his production's not there. So, yeah, you'd love to see guys sort of show out. Maybe he had a plan to wait. I don't think there was an injury, but I can't remember. So, every guy's got to make his own decision on those things.
With Stewart, to me, that's petrifying. I mean, a guy who just looks like he's a can't-miss prospect, but you go back and you look at what he didn't do at Texas A&M. Where do you go between trusting the film? And that even applied to Mason Graham. I mean, he made play after play at Michigan. How do you separate trusting the film compared to the workout warrior and I guess the science that is involved?
Yeah, this is the debate that's happening every draft room, around the country. So, obviously there are certain teams that place higher emphasis or value on certain body types. And, they don't build him much better than Shamar Stewart. So he's going to be on a lot of teams' boards just for that reason alone. His athleticism is through the roof. The production isn't there. But then you try to figure out why, right? They did have a great defensive line down there, which, shouldn't, in my opinion, work against him. But, there were other guys cleaning up the big sacks and tackles for loss and things like that. And we've seen guys like Danielle Hunter have really tame college production and go on to be very, very good pros and, second and third contract type of guys. So, there's a path for him there, but it just doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah. All right. Hey, last one for you. There always feels like there's desperation on draft day for the teams that really do need a quarterback. Most have just Cam Ward going ahead of Jacksonville at 5. Could you see a lot of draft day trades, including maybe an opportunity for the Jaguars there to move down?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's possible, right? If the Giants don't, what happens with the Giants? Do they get a quarterback? That's going to be a big domino right there. It looks like the Titans are positioning themselves to take Cam Ward at 1, meaning they haven't been aggressive targeting other quarterbacks. They're fortifying their offensive line, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And so, it looks like everything's kind of pointing towards the quarterback there. And then the Browns, you could easily see them go in a non-quarterback direction because, they redid the deal with Watson. They make the trade for Kenny Pickett. There's probably room for another young quarterback on the roster, but they don't have to force the issue. They can get Abdul Carter if they want, And so then all of a sudden, right now you're asking, do the Giants take a QB? Does a team that loves Jackson Dart get antsy and say, let's move up, right? And then you have to ask, do the Patriots make their pick per trade? So still a lot of stuff that has to happen, but it wouldn't be the wildest scenario ever. It would be wild, but we've seen some crazy stuff before.
Eric, always a lot of fun. Appreciate you joining us here with Rick Ballou on the home of the Jags, and hopefully we'll do it again before the draft.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll be on a Friday next time we talk.
All right, Eric, have a good one.
I'm wish casting it,
I got you. Hey, there you go. Eric Edholm of NFL.com giving us the very latest on what he thinks is going to happen here for the Jaguars. And it is a little bit unusual because we don't have any trends. We don't have a feeling on how to base this. Again, the betting the betting favorite absolutely would be Mason Graham. But we don't know if that is going to happen. And just remember how unusual last year's draft was. It wasn't a defensive player in the top 10. Mel Kiper came out with his updated post-first wave of free agency today. Cam Ward going first overall to Tennessee. Abdul Carter going to Cleveland. Of course, he is out of Penn State. Here's Shador Sanders going third to the New York Giants. That's not good for Jacksonville. I've changed my opinion on this. I did a few weeks ago, but there was a time where my opinion was have 2 quarterbacks go in the top 4, meaning Jacksonville gets the 3rd best overall position player. Then all of a sudden, I looked at what I think is their biggest team needs, in my opinion, offensive line and wide receiver. I would like them to trade down from number 5. So hopefully there are 3 position players in Cam Ward, and then the team calls Jacksonville and says, we need Sanders. Here you go. Here's our trade offer, and Jacksonville is in a position where they can accept it or say, no, thank you. New England gets Travis Hunter at number 4. All right, and that's a little bit of a surprise because they just went out and signed Carlton Davis. gave him big money, but maybe they're considering playing him at wide receiver. We don't know. I don't think it's standard around the league that all 32 teams are like, okay, Travis Hunter's a corner. I've heard that some teams think he's better off being a wide receiver. He's got small hands. Okay, he's a phenomenal athlete, but will the small hands force him to the defensive side? Again, these are answers to questions I don't know. And then Mel Kiper had Mason Graham going 5th to Jacksonville at the defensive tackle position. And that's been a guy that we've talked around here for the last couple of months about. And it just feels like that is where Jacksonville is going to go. All right. When we get back, let's stay on the draft here a little bit. If you're joining us for the first time, Jordan Schultz yesterday said, with Tet McMillan, who's referred to as T-Mac, his 4.48 speed, which came out on Monday. There are now several other reports, including from Daniel Jeremiah and Albert Breer, and they're anywhere from 4.52 to 4.63. So it's not the 4.48. That drops him, unfortunately, with my 5th pick in this draft. I just, if you're going to draft a guy at that pick, he has to be a burner. He has to be a separator. And who knows what Jacksonville had him on the stopwatch with. Okay, I'd be interested with that. But it's changed the perspective here, at least in my opinion, over the last 24 hours. And this is going to change again in these final 37 days, right? Michigan's got a big workout coming up on Friday. There are several other pro days that are getting ready to crank up. So there'll be some good. There'll also be some bad. But if you want to share your opinion on that, the best way to do it is our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight, you can get us by going to 1010XL into the night. All right, as I said at the top, tonight's show brought to you by the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf Challenge. March 31st, Marsh Landing. We're going to support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. What an unbelievable cause, right? Great prizes at this event, but more importantly, we're going to bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. Please go to lonewarriorfoundation.com. That's lonewarriorfoundation.com. You can jump on in and get a foursome. You can sponsor a whole. If you're an individual, you can sign up as well. The website is very easy on the eyes and explains everything to you. So go to lonewarriorfoundation.com. All right, we got much more to do. With you tonight till 8 o'clock. Dylan Denmark is here. My name is Rick Ballou. We call this Into the Night.
Feel the downforce of 100 horses.
Everybody in the crowd on their feet.
Sunday at Miami.
Wow!
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. If you're going to buy an engagement ring, how much should you spend?
Frank, that's a question we hear a lot, and the guideline most often used is the equivalent of 2 months' salary. But I'll say this, the price you pay for a diamond is directly related to its beauty. If you want a big, cheap diamond, I'll guarantee you it's poor quality, and that's not what we carry at Underwoods. If you want a diamond of fine quality, cut to the right specifications for maximum beauty, not maximum weight, that's the kind of diamond we have at Underwoods. You see, when somebody's been married for a long time, they don't always remember what they paid for their engagement ring. They probably remember the sacrifice they made to pay for it. And when you consider that a diamond engagement ring will be worn every day for the rest of her life, most people will agree that a really fine quality diamond ought to be considered. That's what we specialize in at Underwoods and have since 1928.
That's Underwood's in San Marco, in Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
Denny Thompson here. You gotta check out Tyson's Showroom Home Theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. I could stay there to watch all my games. It's that comfortable. Call Tyson today and bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Foods, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner with honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hi, it's Rick Ballou. I hope you'll join me and some former NFL players for an incredible event at the end of March, the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. March 31st at Marsh Landing will support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. An opportunity to win sensational prizes, but more importantly, we will bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. To sign up, go to LoneWarriorFoundation.com. That's LoneWarriorFoundation.com.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club is an attractive destination for golfers all over the Southeast. You too will enjoy our classic Arnold Palmer design that will test your game and keep you coming back. Book a tee time at hiddenhillsgc.com.
How much do the performers for Super Bowl halftime shows get paid?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Super Bowl performers are not paid for their shows, but production costs are covered by the NFL, which could go as high as $15 million.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
NCAA tournament officially underway. Just a couple of minutes in. St. Francis out of Pennsylvania up 6-4 over Alabama State. Out of Alabama. Coming up tonight, North Carolina and San Diego State. That'll be at 9:10. So both playing games tonight, and then we get two on Wednesday. Mount St. Mary's against American University. and then Xavier in Texas, late night. So that is the deal. 2 tonight, 2 tomorrow, and then, of course, 16 on Thursday, 16 on Friday. We're going to be on location both nights. Thursday, Mr. Chubby's out on the west side. Friday, Top Dog in Bartram Park. So we'll be out there both nights, myself and Hacker, after I get off at 8. Hacker will come on with you from 8 until 10 o'clock. So we have that going on basketball-wise. I know that you were disappointed to see this, Dylan, but sad news today here in Jacksonville. One of their favorites is no longer. Tim Jones is signed with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, yes. Very unfortunate. Yeah. I was looking at the other day. I was wondering why all these former Jaguars were going to be picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking specifically for this class. And you have Cisco with the Jets.
Ledbetter went to the Giants.
Yep. Right? Ingram goes to the Broncos. Kirk goes to the Texans. I'm kind of blanking out after that.
Mac Jones went to San Fran.
Yep, that's right.
I had my old buddy, my old program director, want me to go on at 7 a.m. to talk about that in San Francisco the night after I saw Get the Lead Out, the Led Zeppelin cover band. I said, bro, there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be available for you at 7 a.m. I'm sorry. At least I was honest.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say? I mean,
it's too early out
highlights
there.
And
yeah, what type of analysis do you want on Mac Jones? He's a little bit of a Jameis in practice and stuff. I mean, he's kooky. He's a fun-loving guy. I got to imagine he's a pretty good teammate. I would only have positive things to say about Mac Jones. The problem is he doesn't throw the football downfield. And outside of that, he's not really that good of a quarterback. So that is a problem. There still is the issue with the quarterback in Pittsburgh. Cam Hayward today came out and said, Aaron Rodgers, what's it going to be? You want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or not? I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is like, who's Cam Hayward? Right? Then he played that role well. If he says something you don't like. Brandon Graham also retired today. All 15 years in Philly. Think about that for a moment. I mean, that is so rare nowadays. You know, we saw it years ago with Brad Meester, but I don't care what sport you're talking about. I mean, as a huge Bostonian, the Bruins just traded Brad Marchand after 17 years in Boston. You just don't see it much anymore in any sport where a guy plays his entire career with one team. And 15 years for Brandon Graham. And he missed, the latter part of the year. They brought him back for the Super Bowl. And going out a winner. 15-year career, going out a Super Bowl champion. That is pretty impressive. This is an interesting text. 0924. This is Ballou. He isn't elite if you have to make him elite. And that's powerful. That's Freudian. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree for this very reason. He has been crippled here. He had the worst coach in the worst scenario that you could ever have with Urban Meyer. And by the way, that excuse is long gone. That has sailed. And it did so years ago. But it still happened. And then you brought in Doug Peterson and what appeared to be a rebuilding process where they found ways to win games in a come-from-behind fashion, and then they just sat on it. They made mistakes with their front office. They made mistakes in the draft, albeit the draft, some of the picks were pretty good, better than in other years. But that whole play-calling situation and having it be one thing after another, if this organization had a tremendous rushing attack, then I would agree with you. If they had phenomenal playmakers, I would agree with you. If they had a decent offensive line, I'm not talking about a great offensive line. I'm talking about a decent offensive line. I would agree with you. And on top of that, they had just awful play calling. Just terrible play calling. And it felt like Doug Peterson and, that brass didn't have Trevor Lawrence in their best interest. So am I being apologetic here to Trevor Lawrence? Maybe. Maybe you think that, okay? I appreciate what you have said. And a lot of people may agree with you. Again, his comment was he isn't elite if you have to make him elite. I think by putting the right people around him, and that includes personnel on the field, that includes outstanding coaching and play calling, you can absolutely take someone to the elite level. Look at some of the quarterbacks, and I'm not going to call them elite, but look at the improvement that we've seen in Sam Darnold. Look at the improvement we've seen in Baker Mayfield. Look at some of these quarterbacks that were left for nothing. Geno Smith, even though he was just traded, you go back 4 or 5 years ago, he was kind of left for nothing. But it's a very good comment. I appreciate you coming in with that. And, here's another one. Trevor is not. Here's 6130. Ballou, an elite football player is someone who consistently demonstrates exceptional skills, tactical awareness, physical attributes, mental fortitude, setting them apart from others in a position and consistently performing at a high level. Trevor is not that. All right. Let's start our second hour on this. Because when it comes down to it, this is far and away the biggest issue. I mean, everything else pales in comparison. It's going to be one of two things. He's either going to do it, and he's going to be taken to that level. And I understand with what many of you are saying. You're giving me examples, and you're giving me reasons why you don't think that he can get to that level. I believe you can improve as a quarterback. I believe you can improve dramatically as a quarterback, okay? But the early tone here from you is not so fast. You don't see that happening. So let's continue with that in our second hour. We got some other things I do want to get into as well. Deion's going rogue in Colorado, and I love it. I mean, everything's changed in college football. Why not do something more now during the spring? I mean, everything is a changing in the world of college football. So we'll dive into that. Also, some unfortunate remarks came in today. Really head-scratching moves, according to ESPN, on what the Jaguars have done so far in free agency. So not everyone out there is a fan of what this team did a week ago. All of that in hour number 2.
Achieving greatness in sports radio.
Now, this is going to be the hardest, most difficult thing you ever attempted in your entire life. But you know what? When it's over,
get emotional.
1010XL.
You guys are going to be champions.
Champions.
Where winners listen.
Champions.
Here's Linda Beaver.
At Beaver Toyota, we believe your experience should be more than just buying a car. It should be a lifetime of confidence, care, and trust. We're proud to offer a lifetime warranty, lifetime oil changes, and lifetime customer service. We're not just here to sell you a car. We're here to establish a lifelong relationship that you can always count on. It's simple. You deserve the best and shouldn't settle for less. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, where we're ready to give you peace of mind for a lifetime. We're here to wow you.
Golf lovers, listen up. UF Health Jacksonville is bringing you an exciting day on the greens with their inaugural Golf Classic Friday, April 25th at Amelia River Club. It's your chance to tee up for a cause supporting Northeast Florida's premier academic health center while enjoying a top-notch golf experience. Sponsorships are available. Whether you're looking to showcase your brand or just play a great round of golf for a great cause, now's the time to get involved. Visit ufhealthjacks.org/golf to learn more.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's exclusive 31-day spring event. Experience superior craftsmanship and timeless design with buy one, get one 40% off custom replacement windows and patio doors. Enjoy the ease of zero down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires March 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Oh, I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Barley and Pie Brewing Company is Fleming Island's first and only craft brewery, founded by the co-founder and brewmaster of Wicked Barley. Barley and Pie serves up local brews made right in your backyard. Hungry? Dive into their sourdough Neapolitan pizza, made fresh in-house every day. Find your new go-to spot in Fleming Island at Barley and Pie Brewing Company.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's Ballou, and I couldn't see everyone else here at the station lose weight while I'm on the sidelines wishing mine away. I jumped on Awaken 182, and I mean weight loss every week, eating to lose weight, and then receive full support for life. What's not to like? Now, I didn't drop the double digits like Hacker did in week 1, but I'm down 4 pounds. I'll take that any day. The best part, Awaken 180 was actually easier than I expected. I'm not sure what I thought beforehand, but after just day 1, I was already in a groove. Wasn't hungry, more energy, and my coach Patrick is awesome. Gave me a couple of tips since I do sleep in and, of course, stay up late. And I'm off. I'm cruising through week 2 and loving it. You've heard all about Choose Awaken 180, all of us having success with Awaken 180. What do you have to lose? Only weight. Everything else to gain with the solution for weight loss. Reserve your March consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
The hoops action continues on the first Friday of the tourney. Watch the Madness with 1010XL and enjoy Madness specials all day long, starting with helmets and heels, live from Big Dog Sports Restaurant on Blanding. Then join XL Primetime at Barley and Pie in Fleming Island. The Frangie Show will be at String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach, and finish the day with Into the Night with Rick Ballou and Hacker After Dark at Top Dog Tavern on Old St. Augustine Road. Now that's the way to celebrate hoop.
I can't believe it! 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Gonna make me want to go clubbing, Dylan. You start playing this type of stuff. Reach for the bottle, reach for anything.
Do they call you Big Papa?
Big Papa Pump? Who is this? Is this
Notorious B.I.G.
Okay. East Coast, West Coast. He was with Puffy. He was with Diddy. They still never caught who gunned him down, right?
No.
still open as well in Las Vegas, where Tupac was shot. This is what it's all about. St. Francis 17, Alabama State 14. And degenerate gamblers are probably burying their elbows into the bar right now. And I love it. I'm here for it. I'll get that itch again someday. Right now, I just don't have it. I'm trying to figure out the biggest issue with the Jacksonville Jaguars, because you can Mason Graham me, you can T-Mac me, you can trade down on me, you can do anything you want. It comes down to whether or not the quarterback can play. That's it. My pitch has been for months now, do everything that you can to put the best possible talent around Trevor Lawrence, the best possible coaching around Trevor Lawrence. We got one here a minute ago. 0924 says if he isn't elite, you have to make him. We've gone back and forth on that, whether or not someone can become elite or not become elite. I don't have the answer to that question, but I'm getting a ton of response from you on this, and it's very fascinating to me because I think with Jaguar fans, there's protective measure with Trevor, that he's yours in that only you can criticize, right? Any outside criticism, you won't have it. Local media, depending on maybe who it is, you'll listen to it or you'll turn right around and let them have it. He's yours, and you want to see this thing work. But we're getting more and more of people openly wondering, is it ever going to work for this guy? And I don't play anything in percentages, but I'll tell you, the playoff run was one thing. The last 2 years, I do not feel nearly as confident that this guy is going to take it to the next level as I did after that playoff loss to Kansas City. Those are just facts. Now, because I do a show every night based on what I think Jaguar fans want to hear, I want you people to be happy, okay? I mean, this isn't me talking about the Florida Gators winning 6 games and winning a national title in the college basketball tournament. That'd be me faking it. I want Trevor Lawrence to do well because I want you to be happy. It's not necessarily because I want Trevor to be, the next Hall of Famer joining Baselli, and it should be Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith. But you catch my point here. And it's nothing personal either against Trevor or an acknowledgement of him. It's you, the fans. That's what I always think of. These players come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go. But this organization right now has to find out whether or not Trevor Lawrence can get to that next level. And my goodness, the stuff that's coming in here tonight is very questionable. 0924 would know that. Have you ever considered why the play calling was awful? The play calling has been pathetic. But I believe that Trevor Lawrence plays his best football when? In panic mode. Helter-skelter offense. No huddle. Are plays coming in? Sure. He's got the microphone on his helmet. But how much of that is him at the line of scrimmage, calling an audible, changing things up, pass, run, as the play clock is running? It doesn't matter who the offensive coordinator has been around here. When the Jaguars huddle and come out to start a football game in the first quarter, they're in a freaking coma, okay? It is the most deplorable thing I have ever seen. This team is never ready to play on offense. Never. I don't care if it's Darrell Bevel. I don't care if it's Urban Meyer or Doug Peterson or President. This team is not ready at 1 o'clock on offense. Week after week after week after week after every single week. For some reason, when they're always trailing, they're always losing. Trevor in a no huddle when it is pressure at its extreme is at his best. He's not perfect. He makes a lot of mistakes, but this just in the methodical, drawn out, scripted 15-play offense sucks. It's an of course they all got fired. It was an embarrassment to their profession that they were not ready. I mean, a guy like Tony Baselli has got to be going crazy that he had to witness that week after week after week, month after month, year after year, never being ready. All right? So Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback who always starts from behind. Now, a lot of that can be his fault. Maybe Trevor's not awake until 1:30. Maybe Trevor's not awake until 2 o'clock. There's some responsibility that has to be put on his shoulders too. But that is just so incredibly frustrating for you Jaguar fans. I mean, it's one thing to go to a game and know you're going to lose. It's another thing to, maybe score an early touchdown and be able to enjoy your beer and backslap one of your buddies or kiss a baby. And, there's 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter, but my goodness, the Jaguars are up 7-0. This is like unheard of. And tell you what, man, it boils my blood. It's awful coaching and it's lack of production. I hope this changes with Liam Cohen. 49.50. Blue, I think the right stuff theory is BS. By the way, how many years do people think Matt Stafford denied the right stuff? Great quarterback, great stats, but he could not win the big one. Perfect example. Perfect example. Detroit has been a laughingstock. Them in Cleveland, okay? Been around forever. They've never won a big game. They've never made it to a Super Bowl. They're one of 4 teams who's never made it. Houston and Jacksonville are the other 2. Thank you. That is a very good example. Let me see. I guess I have stuff in here on, I don't want to mention Tim Jones and stuff like that. Where's the one on, all right, here's one that says, goes on about Tom Brady. It's long-winded, yada, yada. Tom Brady, the best teams, including Tom Brady, always had superstars around him. Oh, really? Is that so? We can remember Gronk. We can remember Randy Moss for that short period of time. Go back to the 2001 New England Patriots. Go back to when they won 3 out of 4 years. David Patton, Troy Brown, J.R. Redmond, Jermaine Wiggins. I mean, come on. That was a put-it-together amazing run by such a lack of talented football players. Very good offensive line. Okay? But go back and look at all the running backs, the Danny Woodheads, you could just go on and on. Lawrence Maroney. It's one after another. And the wide receivers as well. They replaced one another. They were not superstars. So that's another example of a situation here where I am going to absolutely disagree with you. 63-51 Blue, is he ever going to be above average? I am not convinced. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying. Right now, he's average. In 4 years, Trevor Lawrence has been totally underwhelming. He's been a disappointment. But when I say that, I'm always quick to clarify that is not all his fault. And what I'm starting to get is quite a few people that disagree with that. They're convinced he cannot take it to the next level. Or they're accusing me of having his back, which, by the way, I love. Okay? I love that because I got one guy here telling me I'm way too hard on Trevor Lawrence. I got someone else here saying I'm carrying the water. As a host, okay, you can't ask for a bigger compliment than that because it never, ever, ever matters what I say. It never does. It only matters what you hear. And I got people out there right now thinking, regardless of the situation, I got Trevor's back. And I got other people here thinking I'm crushing them. This may be my last show, Dylan. I mean, I've hit it. I've hit the absolute climax of my career. I have people believing the exact opposite with the one thing that I'm saying.
Yeah, that's your job as a host. You want to have people on both sides of the pendulum, one way or the other. You don't want to have people saying, that's okay. I don't really, you know what I mean? You want to have people thinking extreme one way or the other. And a lot of people think that way about Trevor. I mean, a lot of the first half that you go back to, how you have slow starts, a lot of it has to do with coaching. A lot of your first, second, and third drives are all scripted, and you know what the defense is showing you more times than not, specifically this past season, and it looks like they didn't ever practice for anything, and that's on coaching. Now, I mean, yes, the players could play better, and you know, Trevor could do this, that, and the other, but it goes on coaching. You know, it usually is the coaching's the first half, and then the players make plays in the second half.
Conversations about coaching, to me, is maybe the most wonderful part of all of this. And I can bring up the late David Lamb, dear friend of mine, who was convinced that managers in Major League Baseball meant nothing, that you'd win 60 a year and you'd lose 60 a year, and then the rest of the games came down to players who made plays. And I would argue with David about that. Like, I mean, look where I'm from. Look at managerial decisions that have been made over the years that cost the Boston Red Sox world championships. And maybe not as much in the 30 years of Jaguars football, because there's only really been, 3 or 4 really good years. But if you get to college football around here, and you talk about the Knowles, and you talk about the Gators, and you talk about the Dogs, and you talk about the Canes, and you go back through history, and you look at, sure, great coaching decisions, games that were won, but also you look at massive mistakes, incredible letdown, coaching-wise, that cost schools championships. Go back and watch Bobby Bowden in Wide Right 1. One of the worst coaching days that I can remember. Go back and look at my freshman year in 1987. Okay? They got a 19-3 lead against Miami in the fourth quarter. Dave Campbell on the sideline, defensive back coach for the Miami Hurricanes. You got 2 Hall of Famers, Deion Sanders and Leroy Butler, and you have Tracy Sanders on Michael Irvin, who scores 2 touchdowns. I could sit, and that's, that's the main reason why I start to get at odds with my alma mater and fans of that school, is because I have the berries, and I've always had the berries to say it. Bobby Bowden is one of the greatest human beings and one of the best coaches of our lifetime. But, brother, he should have won about 7 national titles. And even the one he won for the first time against Nebraska, he played those corn-fed guys in a phone booth. You got there because of the wide-open offense. You got there because of the fun and gun. You got there because you spread it all over the field. And he took on Nebraska. And Warwick Dunn had 3 touches. He played them in a phone booth. And had to kick a field goal on 3rd down. The 4th of the game by Scott Bentley, and you left Tom Osborne in Nebraska time to drive the field and kick what would have been a game-winning. It was a colossal failure by Bowden. Colossal. But you know what? Won the game and everyone forgets about it. Well, I'm not everyone. We got much more to do with you tonight till 8.
A symphony of sweat, grit, and glory. Dive into the action and live the moments. For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Garber Auto Mall is home of the lifetime warranty. Every new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Ford comes with a lifetime warranty. At Garber Auto Mall, your purchase is covered for life. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Miller Lite for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you got to do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. The overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the free beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
For the greenest, lushest lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Amelia Tucker, senior varsity track and field and soccer player at Wilson High. Amelia is involved with student government and is a member of the National Honor Society. Congratulations, Amelia.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Corona Premier, a light beer with just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. The premier side of life. For those that are active and on the go, pick some up the next time you're heading out to enjoy the day under the sun. Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true, and after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase now through March.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Hey, this is David with Royal Pest Services. The fact that we've been bundled up the past month gave us an idea. Let's bundle up also with our Centricon and Pest Control Bundle, starting at $349. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for your free inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
When I passed you in the doorway,
Little St. Patrick's Day hangover music.
I should have took that last
The original band from Dublin.
I asked you for a dance.
Thin Lizzy.
Now we go steady to the pictures. I always get chocolate stains on my
Getting riled up tonight. I started this Awaken 180. Let me check that again. No booze. No booze allowed, Blue. Maybe I'll just drink and then go dancing in the moonlight with the GF. I can sweat some of it out then, right? Rest in peace. Phil Line Nut. All right, let's get back to this. This conversation, and this is what it's all about. I mean, you talk about just cutting through it all. And let's get straight to the point. None of this flirtation. None of this foreplay. All right? Let's get right down to it. Can he play or can he not play? Trevor Lawrence. Now do you understand where I'm coming from? Okay? This is my pitch, and this is what I have said all along. You have to find out. The only thing I want is I don't want to be here in a year still wondering. Okay? This team's half pregnant. I don't want to have another year go by and say, can Trevor Lawrence play? Find out. Find out. And it doesn't necessarily all equal W's and L's. Last year was a complete abomination. I don't want to be repetitive, but they started off in a freaking coma. And they lost, and they lost, and they lost, and they were never in it. And they gave you nothing as a fan. I don't expect this team all of a sudden to show up and be 14-3. Oh, but Blue, they lost 10 games by one possession. Right. Bad coaching, bad performance. By the way, that's the league. That's the NFL. You look at the lines on a weekly basis. A lot of you are degenerate gamblers. That's the league. It's not college football. That's why I'm so overboard on this. Okay, yeah, Mason Graham would be great. I want another offensive lineman. I want another wide receiver. I want the best offense that you can possibly put together. Find out if this guy is going to be an elite quarterback. 28-35, but the defense sucked last year. Indeed. I mean, they were just awful. And they have no leaders on that defense. 27-75, the best quarterback is Mahomes, and his offensive line was dominated the Super Bowl. He didn't look like he was the best. Vic Fangio is a genius. Mahomes dropped back 42 times, not one blitz. Ryan Nielsen tried to rotate his defense the way that Vic Fangio rotated that defensive line. Didn't work. Jacksonville didn't have nearly the talent. Philadelphia has been to 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls. Philadelphia has what? An incredible offense and defensive line. Philadelphia also has amazing skill position guys. They have the best running back in the league. They have one of the top wide receivers in the league. They have a very good number 2 wide receiver. They have a solid tight end. They got a quarterback that's still somewhat underrated. How can you underrate Hurts when he'll beat you with his feet as well? Guy's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. I never thought, I won't say never, but if I was to go back 3 years ago, I would have a tough time believing in saying that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. I did not think that could be the case. There's no argument right now. If you're going to argue that point, then please send me what you're drinking or smoking. 1,029. I honestly do not know what to think about our quarterback. We have such a bad history of bad leadership. Well, you know how I am on leadership. When I was a kid and I learned about the NFL, covering the NFL, the leaders on this football team were the offensive line. Dave Weidel, Ben Coleman, colleagues Tony Baselli, Leon Searcy. That's where it was. Those guys weren't in the training room when the media came in. They answered the bell every single day. To me, that was the identity of this football team. The offensive line here for the last decade has been mush. It has been a colossal disappointment. A bunch of betas, right? I mean, if there's one position on the football field that's not a quarterback where you need massive alphas, it's your offensive line. Hasn't been the case around here. Oh, they're leaders by example. Oh, they're silent. Okay. Good luck to Liam Cohen. He's going to have to find some leaders. Leaders in this league, it only translates if you're a great player. And if you were to look at and rank Jacksonville's best players, ask yourself, where are they as far as leaders? All right, the best player on this football team right now is Brian Thomas Jr. He's a rookie. You can't expect him to be a leader. The second best player on this football team right now is Logan Cook. He's a punter. I mean, what? Anything those guys say are going to fall on deaf ears. Who's the third best player? You going to tell me it's Trevor Lawrence? You going to tell me it's Trevor? You going to tell me it's Foye Oluokun? Decent leader. You can tell me it's Josh Hines Allen. Spotty leader. Been a captain. 1 year he wasn't, but I don't see it.
Probably Trayvon.
There's a silent guy. There's a leader by example. He's not a rah. That's not his role. Neither is Tyson Campbell. I mean, I'm not even going to waste time mentioning the offensive line. Mitch Morse is going to bring a lot of leadership here to the... What?
That whole free agency class a year ago brought leadership.
Brandon Sheriff. You know what it's like interviewing Brandon Sheriff? We just got to get better as a team. We just got to take it one step at a time. We just got to put it all together. Trust. I mean, it's cliche. Interview 101. Those aren't leaders. Who's your leader? ETN? Tank? Who? You know, and you try to bring in leaders. I remember Urban talking about Marvin Jones Jr. I remember him talking about Rayshon Jenkins. I remember him talking about Shaq Griffin. You try to create leaders. They brought in 9 guys last week. Who's really going to be a leader in that group? I'm asking. I don't know. I hope you can find a couple. This team desperately needs leaders. It's missing. Eric Armstead was supposed to be the second coming of Calais Campbell. I'll raise my hand. I rang that bell. I'll never run from my mistakes. I rang that bell. He was terrible. Okay, he wasn't, it wasn't unfortunate. It wasn't a situation why he didn't play it. He was terrible. No disguising it. He was bad. And he liked the tweet with Aziz. And he gets the Walter Payton Award. I mean, only things like this happen in Jacksonville. Eric Armstead should have gotten thrown out of the game. He should have gone freaking crazy. He should have defended his quarterback when he got concussed. He had one guy get the hook, and he was a rookie in Jarian Jones. And Doug Peterson's like, he's naughty. Doug Peterson's, I'm going to have a talk with him now. We can't have that. What do you mean you can't have that? Rip someone's freaking head off. You just concussed your quarterback. Where the hell are the leaders? Can you imagine if someone did that to C.J. Stroud on the other side, what those Houston players would have done? It really gets you thinking. Do they not like Trevor? Why aren't they defending Trevor? I mean, just ask yourself, the top quarterbacks, what do you think Philadelphia would do if someone took a cheap shot to Jalen Hurts? So what do you think they would do if someone took a cheap shot to Patrick Mahomes? I mean, just ask yourself these questions. This is last year's team. This is the identity of this team. They were soft. They ran and they hid. This team couldn't win any games. There's not a Jaguar fan alive that would have been disappointed if you found out that so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so was going to miss next week's game because they defended their star quarterback. Instead, they turned the other cheek. And I know there were a few, Brenton Strange and Sheriff and Jari, and there was a couple, but not nearly enough. Not even close. Not nearly enough. No fight. And I hope Baselli brings that to the locker room. I hope Baselli brings that. I don't know if they'll listen to Tony Baselli. Today's players don't listen to founding fathers. It's sad. It's not just here. It's everywhere. Look at C.J. Stroud said a year ago about Fred Taylor. They just don't care. That's today's young athlete. But Liam Cohen, man, good luck. And James Gladstone trying to bring him in, good luck. This football team, that may be the second biggest issue behind Trevor Lawrence. Where are you going to find leaders? Been doing this since day one here. I can't think of a football team that had fewer leaders than last year's club. And two of them, or even three of them, you can make a case, were leaders. Christian Kirk, albeit in his own way. Evan Ingram. Listen, it's not fooled on anyone. Evan Ingram was the first one out there and the last one to leave. Right? He was. For those who go to the Miller Electric Center, for those who watch practices in the month of late July throughout August, you would see that. Mitch Morris, we were told, was a great leader. I never saw it. That's the next biggest part of all this.
You went 10 minutes talking about leaders, and you didn't mention Andrew Wingard not one time.
Okay. Andrew Wingard. You got to play in order to be a leader. He's an effort guy. He's a special teamer. All right? If you take on Derrick Henry, you can put him in against him as a safety. If you take on Saquon Barkley, you can put him in. No. But do you want him in coverage? And I know he's become a cult-type figure around here. I'm not dismissing that. And we saw when he freaked out I think it was after the Vegas game, where he said he was a baller. I admire the confidence in him, but in my opinion, he is incredibly average. I mean, if you're inserting Dewey in your starting 11 this year, you got problems, okay? You got problems. There's no other way to say it. I mean, no. And just no. All right? And, he's... Oh, boy. Dewey. Why are you still talking about the old regime? That was last year. That was the past. It's here, man. It's still right here. This is what you're trying to turn around. This is what you're trying to fix. And the only reason why we got the last year is this is the 5705 who sent it in. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because we got into, based on some comments that came in on the text line, about whether or not Trevor can get to that next level. And it all began with elite. If you're not elite, you can't make someone elite, right? That was the first conversation, the first text. I disagree with that. I think you can become elite with the perfect plan, the perfect coaching, the perfect players around you. But this has been really a lot of fun tonight. Because, again, there's something in town that I admire. We can only talk poorly about Trevor Lawrence. Outsiders aren't allowed to. And I've never heard that or seen that with any other player in this organization. If one of you says it, it's okay. People may disagree. If a host like myself wonders, it's coming from both angles. And to me, that's just fascinating. There are people that are just thrown their hands up and said, it's not going to work. He can't get there. And others are like, it's one example after another. Everything that we have highlighted and we have gone through time and again as to why it hasn't worked. We take this break. It's this conversation goes on in so many NFL markets. There's only, 7, 8 markets maybe where you feel so good about your quarterback that he's an untouchable, that you just know that he's going to get you there. Right? How many times have we talked about there was 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the NFL who actually have Super Bowl rings, starting quarterbacks? Well, now we've added a new one with Jalen Hurts. You know it and I know it. The conversation is, who's next? Is it going to be Allen? Is it going to be Burrow? Is it going to be Herbert? Is it going to be, Baltimore? Is it going to be Jags? Who's it going to be? Who is the next Super Bowl winning quarterback going to be? That's always one of the biggest conversation pieces that you can have. Trevor should be on that list entering year 5. He should. But some really good stuff coming in on this tonight, so I am appreciative of it. No doubt about it. All right, let's put our final thoughts on it. We have an update from this thriller. Let's see. Tonight, playing St. Francis, a 16 seed out of Pennsylvania, up 39-34 out of Alabama State, a 16 seed. Again, halftime there, 39-34 St. Francis. Coming up at 9:10 tonight, couple of 11 seeds. It'll be North Carolina against San Diego State. Final thoughts coming up.
When you're making plays on the field, doesn't matter. Are you going to go out there, take hits, deliver the ball, and win ball games for us?
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
Pizza to Tea here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Get to know positions and players. The 1010XL Ultimate Draft Guide is brought to you by Blue Haven Pools, the #1 pool builder in Jacksonville. Follow rankings and roundtables as the draft takes shape. Go to 1010XL.com/2025 draft guide to get yours.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Jacksonville's summer heat is coming in fast. Is your AC ready to handle it? Or will it quit on you on the hottest day of the year, leaving you sweating and stuck with a huge repair bill? Duck Air Conditioning is here to save the day with a free AC system inspection. Our expert techs will make recommendations to ensure your AC system is running in tip-top shape before the heat arrives. Call now, 904-862-6769. Duck Air Conditioning, duckac.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford. In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop, 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court: the Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think. Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Major League Baseball began this morning, 6:10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. The defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers, a 4-1 victory over the Chicago Cubs. Ohtani with a couple of hits. Both Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts did not play. It's good to have baseball back. The Tokyo series will continue tomorrow. And then I guess we're a week away. I want to say opening day in the United States of America will be on the 27th. So that in itself is going to be a pretty good thing. You see yourself getting up at 6:10 a.m. to watch Game 2 of the Tokyo series?
No. I will be sleeping. I'll wake up about 8-something and get to work about 9. I'll say, okay, the Dodgers probably won again. And that'll be it.
Yeah.
March 27th is opening day, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, baseball. It's a great time of year now with obviously hoops. And we're at half. That's the other big story that is non-Jaguar related. St. Francis up 39-34 over Alabama State. North Carolina and San Diego State will have at it tonight at 9:10 as well. But, for me, the big story today was Ted McMillan, who reportedly yesterday ran a 4.48, the wide receiver out of Arizona. Jordan Schultz had that report. Today, Daniel Jeremiah and Albert Breer had different reports. Daniel Jeremiah had, from several different teams, a 4.52, a 4.53, a 4.56, and a 4.63. He also said a 4.53 was shared with the league. Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Network, very connected. Albert Breer as well, friend of the program. 4.54, 4.55, 4.57 to 3 teams he talked to. May not sound like a lot, but I know that you're a very good football audience and you understand when it comes to a 40-yard dash, it is a lot. There's a difference between a 4.48 and a 4.57. Maybe nothing but fool's gold anyway. You really get the impression that this football team is going to go defense, and it's going to be Mason Graham. Mason Graham, Mel Kiper came out today with his post-first wave of free agency mock draft, and Mel Kiper has the Jaguars taking Mason Graham at number 5. Daniel Jeremiah has Jacksonville taking Jalen Walker, which is a big-time surprise. Wow. 6'2", 245, 32-inch arms. So if Trent Baalke was here, he'd have him red flagged. He wouldn't select him in the 7th round. But he's not here. And that is a good thing. It's all about James Gladstone. 34-01. Interesting question. A lot of one-score games. What happened more often? Fail to score, take the lead, or fail to stop team from taking the lead. It was a fascinating situation in those 10 losses. It was a prime example of no complementary football. And it was one of the more interesting things I've ever seen, where the offense would sputter for 3 or 4 drives. The defense would keep minute with some 3-and-outs. I'd like to say a takeaway, but that'd be a lie, right? I mean, this team had 6 interceptions. They only had 9 takeaways. 1 was on special teams. But they would get the job done. And then all of a sudden the offense would find a way to the end zone, and you're like, can you give us one more stop on defense? And no. The back would break. And then it would be the exact opposite, where, it was the offense that was doing everything that they can, and the defense was surrendering points, and all of a sudden the defense comes up and makes a couple of crucial stops. And you're just like, can the offense do it again? They have been doing it, and no. Up against it late in the fourth quarter, they couldn't. So I don't know if it's 6-4, 7-3, 5-5, who you would blame, offense or defense. But it was one of the most interesting things I've ever seen in any level of football, college or pro, I should say, where when one side did it, the other side failed. And if you didn't know any better, you would almost think they didn't like each other. It's amazing. But, yeah, to me, that was a huge part of what we saw there, as far as I'm concerned. Hey, Ballou, stop holding Trevor's out. Oh, I got you. 61-30. What's up, Rick? Sounding good? Yada, yada, yada. I just can't get on Trevor's wagon. That's disappointing. It is. I'm never going to tell you how you should feel. I figured at this point we'd have an idea. You know, I look at my alma mater, Florida State, and I look at the quarterback in town here, Trevor Lawrence, and I think there are two examples of where there's wishful thinking, where you want it to happen, but you don't know if it will. Mike Norvell is entering his 6th year as Florida State's coach. I don't know if he can coach. Not being a smartass, not being rude, I'm being honest. I do not know if he can coach. Trevor Lawrence, I do not know if he is going to ascend to a top level. I don't know. He's been paid to get to that level, and that contract hasn't kicked in. But I don't know. And, you know, it's beyond frustrating. You would think that in Tallahassee, with 5 years in, you'd have a feeling. You would think in Jacksonville, with 4 years in, you'd have a feeling. I don't on either one of the two. It's literally flip the coin as to whether or not it's going to work for one or for both. I'll be here for it. You'll be here for it. And good old Duval. Thank you to Eric Edholm for joining us from NFL.com. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Hacker is on vacation. He's visiting my hometown of Boston. I actually slid on over to Maine, where it's probably 10 degrees. No place I'd rather be. Right here. Then Jacksonville tomorrow night, Wednesday. Already fired up for it. It's only 22 hours away. My name's Rick Ballou. I hope you'll join me then.
And now details on the sudden announcement that has captured the attention of the entire world.